Yo, what is up? Today I'm reviewing the Soviet Tier 5 light tank, the T-50. So let's start off with my loadout. I have a 1.5 skill crew, which means I run the GLD vertical stabilizers and coated optics. Now I recommend you run the vents instead of the GLD if you have a 3 skill plus crew. I run just as much APCR shells as AP shells. I think around 66 APCR, and this is because you're going to fight a lot of tier 7 tanks when you're bottom tier, and you need the APCR shells to do the job for you. Besides, you have plenty of AP shells if you need to fight with tier 5 tanks exclusively, because it carries over 130 shells in the tank, which means you can carry like 60-70 APCR shells and 60-70 AP shells, so that's not a problem at all. You only reserve those APCR shells for the higher tier tanks when you are matched up with tier 7 tanks like I am now, which means I'm shooting APCR exclusively in this game. Now the standard penetration on the AP shells are 90mm, while the APCR has 130mm, and they both do 70 damage per shot, which is not a lot of damage, to be honest with you. However, it does make up for it with the fast reload time of 2.21 seconds, giving it a DPM of 1904. Now, this is excellent for a tier 5 tank, fast reload, and with the APCR shells, the shell velocity is over 1088 meters per second, and even the AP shells have 870 meters per second, which is not bad at all for this kind of tank. As I said earlier, this tank carries a lot of shells. It carries 150 in total, which means you can split your ammo between APCR and AP fairly balanced, so that you are completely prepared when you need to face higher tier tanks like the tier 7 game I'm in right now, and reserve your AP shells for equal tier tanks like when you're in a total tier 5 matchup or when you are top tier. Now, before we go on to the good bits about this tank, let's get on over with the armor and health of this tank. This tank has 360 health and absolutely no armor to speak of. It has 37 hull armor in the front, in the sides and the back. Turret armor is even worse, also 37 in the front, 37 in the side, and even less on the back, only 15. So there's absolutely no armor on this thing at all. I think even a tier 1 tank can penetrate this tank, so let's just forget about armor, okay? This tank is not about armor. It doesn't have that much view range to speak of as well. It only has 385 meters of view range, running with optics that I have on this tank. So what are the good bits about this tank? Well, one of the things is its camouflage value. It is second only to the infamous ELC BIS, AMX ELC. That means this is the second best camo rating in tier 5 tanks. Second only to the AMX ELC base, even ahead of the British Cruiser, ahead of the tier 5 German Leopard, ahead of the M24 American Chaffee, and ahead of the M7 American tank. So very good camo, make use of it. As you can see, I was a dumb ass and I took 2 big hits from the AMX 1375. I thought I could kill him a lot sooner. I took 2 hits from him, 143 and 141, but now I have the back of the AMX 48. Sorry, my mistake, that was the AMX AC 46 tier 7 TD, and I managed to kill steal and get the kill for my second. Not bad. Alright, let's move on to the other thing that's special about this tank, that's really great about this tank. It's mobility. The forward speed is 60 kilometers an hour, reverse speed is 23 kilometers an hour, and it's not just that it has incredible forward and reverse speed, it is how fast it can get there. It has a 400 horsepower engine, and this tank only weighs 14,000 kilos, pounds, I think it's kilos, or whatever, 14 tons, I'm not sure. Anyway, it has power to weight ratio of 28.05, and it has very low terrain resistance. Now the reason why this mobility is so good is because it's a small light tank, and I will demonstrate to you why this tank is so good. At this point in time of the game, I'm already subscribed to losing. I'm pretty sure we've lost it because the enemy had started capping, and there was no way I could go back and offer any kind of meaningful resistance with the kind of health that I had left. In fact, just a few seconds ago I had messaged to my platoon mate to just farm, because we can't possibly win this. Just farm as much damage as you can, and we'll leave it at that. Now, if only there was a way we could kill this Yak Panzer up here and his friend the 5916, perhaps we have a chance. I've got the bottom plate, and while he is tracked, I'm going to try and pump in as much damage as I can. 70 damage every shot. I think I managed to finish him off. Do I get the kill? Yes, I do. Now, just as soon as that happens, I noticed that one of the cappers have gone out of the cap. So they have gone in and out of the cap, or maybe they were being reset by the leopard. But I spot an opportunity to rescue this game right now. There could be a chance for me to go back, and they've killed that 5916 with one shot, which means with the kind of speed and mobility that I have with the T-50, there is a chance for me to rush back to the base and perhaps defend it. Now, I do have over a minute to do this reset, which means I don't have to go north and face the T-150 frontally, which I would most certainly lose. So instead I decide to go into the center, into this little pond here, come out from the other side, and come out from the back. I messaged to my friend, maybe there's a chance to reset this, and he says the VK might be capping, which means I can take my time, see if I can sneak around this corner and spot him while he is looking the other way, and maybe get a quick reset and then duck back down to safety. I notice he's not there, I'm not spotting him, which means I need to close the distance and try and get him. Looks like he's a one shot for me, so let me try and kill him. I missed my shot there, so I have to move in closer. He's still not looking at me, so I finish him off. And there is a PZH there as well, which is possibly a 1, 2 or 3 shotter. He is a 3 shotter for me. I am showing very little of my tank to him, so even if he was looking at me, it would have been very difficult for him to shoot me, especially if he was using some derp gun or something like that. This guy might be looking at me, but he doesn't have the time to aim, so I finish him off. And just like that, we are leading 14 to 13. This is a 2v1 game. I am still a one shot, which means I need to be careful. I don't want to throw away my HP. I need to make use of this friendly teammate of mine, the KV1. He does have some HP to trade with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang around close to him. I'm going to use him as a meat shield. I'm going to use him to spot. I'm going to use him to distract. Either way, the first thing I have to do is try to find the enemy survivor. Now, in typical situations like this, where it's 2v1, you do not want to be too far away from the KV1, my teammate. But as you can see, the M4A3E2 or whatever that is, he is in a platoon with that VK earlier on that was capping, and he was last spotted down south. Now I have the speed and mobility to do this, quickly hook around the northeastern side and try to make sure that he is not around. What I want to do is try to surprise him if I can, get a couple of shots into his back before I die, or at least try to get a sense of where he might be before the KV1 closes in on a distance. Now the KV1 is fairly safe because he is going on the same track that I just went through, which means I've already passed through there. It should be fairly safe for him to go that direction. So I know that he's in a safe position. I'm gonna go and check out the peninsula to see if he's if that tier 5 medium tank is hiding around here. to try and catch us by surprise if we attempt to make a cap on the enemy base. So just to double check, make sure he's not here. Okay, so we've singled out the north and the eastern side. There, the KV-1 has spotted him. I hope he does not take any damage before I get there. He does have half HP left and he is a heavy tank. He has taken some HE damage, I think, from the medium tank, so I'm quickly trying to close the distance and try to get close to my teammate and help out if I can before he loses all his HP. Now, if you are ever caught in a situation like this where you are the KV-1, the one of the two surviving tanks fighting the enemy medium tank, you need to realize that it's very important for you to conserve your HP for as long as possible, at least until help gets there. Finally, I am there, but I have difficulty trying to pen the front of this tank with even my APCR shells, but no problem shooting his sides. He can't see me even though I am very close to him because I am double bushing, shooting behind the bush. So what I have to do now is take a risk. I have to close the distance before the KV-1 completely dies and loses all his HP. I'm going to attempt to flank that medium tank because his attention is completely on that KV-1, and I managed to finish him off using my excellent reload time. So here's the endgame results. I get an ace tanker for it, 1700 damage, which is phenomenal for a tank like this, over 1200 1200 XP. I got an Orlix medal for it as well, a Top Gun ace tanker, and a defender medal for resetting the cap circle. Hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. If you like more, please subscribe to my channel and give me a like. I would appreciate it very much. I'll see you again soon. Bye.